Matt Wallen, Night Operations. I guess I'd like to start out by saying the overall growth of the fire was minimal last night. We did have some rollout growth on the areas that were unstaffed into the Yuba River Canyon. They're unstaffed because it's just too difficult to get resources there and also very dangerous. Starting in Branch 1, Division Alpha, nothing significant to report with any new issues. We had mop up there, continued mop up 100 to 300 feet into the burn. In Division Hotel, moving further to the north, that was one of our most active areas through the night. We had 3 IWIs, minor medical emergencies through the evening, but that should send a message that that area is one of our more dangerous areas and active areas that we're working of the fire. Dozer line in that division was made down to the river from the end of Cranston Road. We also continued hand line that is plumbed, that is going direct on the fire, to paralleling the river drainage to the north up to the power line easement, and that was tied in and plumbed last night. That's about all I have for hotel. Moving into Division Mike, again, this is our area that is primarily a lot of rock bluffs. To be quite honest, rope access gear is going to be needed to get into some of these areas. Our overall objective there is going to be able to continue to staff it as we can to get resources in as close as we can, but a lot will hinge on aerial operations into the next operational period. So for Mike's resources last night and yesterday, they were split into Hotel and Papa to bolster what we could do in those 2 divisions. Continuing over into Branch 5, branch break is up here at the head of the fire. Moving into Division Papa, we did get hand line to the river. Again, a lot of hard work was put in by the crews yesterday and the previous day's shift, which some of you may have been part of. And I just want to thank you for your ownership of your programs and really going after this. I don't think we would have been successful without everyone's cooperation and work. So Papa was a hard piece to work yesterday. We did get a hose lay plumbed and hand line to the river from the power lines in Division Papa. We're going to support that today with snap tanks and a continual water operation to support that hose lay and go for a 100-foot mop up, if not more. The rest of the division, or the branch continuing into Romeo and X-ray, was relatively quiet. We had really good access to this portion of the fire on day 1. We had control lines in on day 1 in both those divisions, and basically continued to mop up in 100 to 300 feet. Our contingency branch to the north of the river continued to build, if we want to call them catcher's mitt or defensive control options, for the communities of Dobbins and Francis Lake. There was a significant dozer line put in from Francis Lake down to the rim of the canyon where we could work our dozers. With that, again, thank you for the ownership of the program, of your programs today, and have a safe shift.
Thank you. Next up is day operations.
Okay, good morning, folks. My name is Brian Mackwood. I'll have day ops today. We'll start out with a quick roll call here. For Division 1, Branch 1, Justin McCombs. Here. For Alpha West. Here. Hotel Price. Here. For Mike Pierce. Here. Ann Sauer. Here. For Branch 5, Browning. Here. For Papa Irvine. Here. McEwen. Here. For Romeo Anderson. Here. And Johnson. Here. For X-Ray, Morris. Here. And Urick. Here. For our contingency branch, Smith. Here. Alpha Collins. Here. X-Ray Parks. Okay, very well done. Hey, I want to start out by saying I know that we have a lot of our IA folks that were on the initial on this. And quite honestly, I appreciate all the work that happened on the start of this day. You guys did some amazing work in there. The fire line leadership in there was outstanding, and quite honestly set us up for success. And where we're sitting right now, we're doing pretty good, I'll be honest with you. And that's really due to the fact that the initial attack folks that came in there and just unloaded on this thing and did really, really good work. So much appreciated on that. Okay, so for today's operations, you got a good brief from Night Ops. Alpha again has got some black line on the map, which is what we want to do. So we're looking real good down in there. We'll continue to support those lines in there, those hose lays. Really get some good depth in there for me. And as we're pushing up through branch 1 into hotel, as stated, we had some IWIs in there. Just got to watch our folks in there, make sure they're staying real hydrated in there. Got good briefings going on, good footwork, and we're doing all those things we need to do. First real good fire of the year for us, quite honestly. So just remember, we got a lot of new folks that are engaged, and this is probably one of their first fires. So really keep good eyes on all of your crews out there for us, please. Hotel is looking real well. We got line, you heard, down to the river bottom. That was certainly a struggle in there, but they really dominated that yesterday and got the work done in there. So that looks real good. We'll support those lines and obviously continue to grow those lines and some depth in there as well. Pushing up into Mike. Again, you heard that we can't get good access in there. We're sharing resources with Mike and amongst the other divisions. But I'll tell you this, we are gonna keep that rotary ring going in there. There is rock outcroppings, we flew it, but there's also pockets in there that are giving us some struggles down in Mike on the bottom end there. So we will continue the air support in there to hopefully just button that up as well. As we move over to branch 5 into Papa, that job in there was well done between our hot shot crews and our golf crews. Excellent work in there yesterday. I listened to you all day long. I know the shot crews are out here right now, so I appreciate the work that was put into Papa. That is some steep terrain in there, and you guys really did an outstanding job to get down to the river yesterday, so I appreciate you on that. We'll continue to support that with air ops as well. They're gonna strengthen those lines up there. They got it plumbed down to the river, but we wanna open that up, make sure that looks real good in there. Get around that bottom rock cropping piece, and I know we're going a little indirect in there, but we'll make sure that gets cleaned up real well as well. Romeo X-ray down the lower end of branch 5, you heard, we're looking real good in there. We're gonna start looking at repop stuff as well today. We're gonna have some discussions on that. I would encourage you, please, if you're running into any of the homeowners or local community members that are here, engage them, talk to them, make sure there's no concerns, they don't have any issues that we can help support as you're moving through, getting to the fire, etc., etc. Again, keep the operational tempo high. We're not out of the woods. I feel better than I did yesterday, quite honestly, but right now, Papa just reported a bunch of wind that's coming in right now, pushing on the line, so we are certainly not out of the woods on this. Get a good operational briefing this morning. Please get out of base camp and get engaged with the night folks and get a good transition. Get some boots on the ground, and let's keep working this. We're not done, okay? But I appreciate you all. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. We're now going to read our incident objectives. They're on the second page of your IAP. They're also posted behind me on the stage. Our management objectives: provide for emergency personnel and public safety at all times, patrol evacuated properties to maintain security, ensure coordinated, timely, and accurate release of public information, bring back normalcy to the affected communities, foster and maintain relationships with all cooperators and stakeholders, protect economic, natural, cultural, and heritage resources, maintain fiscal accountability, and keep costs commensurate with values at risk. Our control objectives: keep the fire north of Rice's Crossing, keep the fire south of Sweetland Creek, keep the fire east of Yuba River, keep the fire west of Pleasant Valley Road. For our weather today, dry daytime conditions with higher temperatures are going to be trending lower as we move through the rest of the week. Max temperatures today are 86 to 91, minimum humidity 14 to 19%. We could have winds becoming southwesterly at 5 to 8 miles per hour with gusts up to 15 miles per hour by the afternoon.